crafty friends, in this card making tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful Christmas tree shaker card. My name's Nicole LeBlanc, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I like to share fun card making tutorials here on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any crafty inspiration. And as always, you can check the description box below for more information. So to get started today, we're going to do some heat embossing. So the stamp set that we're using today is from Pinkfresh Studio. It's called Under the Christmas Tree. And I've gone ahead and picked out the sentiments from that stamp set. And as you can see, I've already gone ahead, loaded them on the door to my MISTI, stamped those down using some clear Versamark ink. And right now, I'm just going to go ahead and scoop on some gold heat embossing powder. So I'm going ahead, scooping that over my sentiments, making sure I have good coverage and tapping off any excess powder just so that I don't have any of that embossing powder sticking anywhere I don't want it to. And then I'm going to go ahead and warm up that embossing powder until it's nice and shiny and smooth. So for the second part of the stamping today, I've gone ahead and pulled out this large image from the stamp set. It's a Christmas tree with some gifts underneath. And I'm just going ahead and adhering that to the front door of my MISTI. And then once again, going to do some more heat embossing. So you can see here, I'm going ahead using my anti-static powder tool to treat my cardstock. Then I'm going ahead and inking up my stamp, once again using that clear Versamark ink pad. I'm making sure that I have good coverage on my stamp, and then I'm going to go ahead, swing that door closed, and apply pressure all over this image. With large stamps like this, you always want to be careful to make sure that you are applying even pressure everywhere so that we don't miss out on any kind of little corners of our image. And then just like before, I'm going ahead and scooping on that gold heat embossing powder, tapping off any excess, and then I'm just rotating my cardstock around, just making sure that I have good coverage once again with that embossing powder. So I'm going ahead, wiping off any stray bits around the edges. Honestly, I'm not too concerned because we will be die cutting this out. So if you have any stray embossing powder in the white spaces on the card, no big deal. So after my panel was prepared, we're going to go ahead and start with some stenciling. So this stamp set comes with coordinating layering stencils. And we're going to go ahead and apply some Pinkfresh Studio inks through those stencils today. So as you can see here, I went ahead, taped my panel down using some mint tape from scrapbook.com, and then adhered the stencils using the magnets on my Make Art station. And then through those stencils, I'm applying inks, also from Pinkfresh Studio, using these Catherine Pooler blender brushes. When I stencil with ink, I like to just use a nice light kind of circular motion, and I just keep layering up the colors until I'm happy with what I see. So for the inks today, in case you want to follow along with this project, the aquas for the Christmas tree from lightest to darkest are Ocean Breeze, Aquamarine, and Mermaid Cove. For the pinks, the lighter pink is Ballet Slippers, and the darker pink is Sparkling Rose. The star and the ornament toppers and the other miscellaneous yellow bits here on the card are Sunshine, and the tree trunk is a combination of Warm Buff and Doe inks, and once again, these are also all from Pinkfresh Studios. So as you can see here, one by one, I'm just going ahead, layering those stencils over my image, holding them down firmly with the magnets, wiping those stencils off after the ink's applied, and then moving on to the next stencil in the set. So just finalizing those gifts here at the bottom. I did use just a little piece of that scrapbook.com mint tape to mask off some of those areas that were closer together so that I could choose a few more colors at the bottom. So after that stenciling was complete, I'm going to go ahead and start some die cutting. So first of all, I took a large stitched oval die, and I'm just running that through the center of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch white panel. And then you can see here that I've also gone ahead and lined up the coordinating dies for the Under the Christmas Tree stamp. And I'm also going ahead and running those through my Gemini Junior die cutting machine. The sentiments also come with fun coordinating dies, so I'm just going ahead and once again lining up those dies and zipping them through my die cutting machine. Just while I'm finalizing the die cutting here, I did want to note that for my Christmas tree, the gifts, and my sentiment, I did go ahead and cut out 3 additional just layers of plain white cardstock just to stack up my items here later on for a little more dimension. So at this point in the project, it's time to start assembling. So because this is a shaker window, I do have a piece of acetate here. This is trimmed down just slightly smaller than an A2 card panel. And I'm just going ahead and adhering that down using some liquid glue. And then next up, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing my foam for my shaker panel. So the way that I like to do this is I have some foam tape that I just cut in half lengthwise so that I could get a nice thin strip of foam. And then I go ahead and peel the backer off that foam so it becomes just a little more pliable. And then I very carefully just tuck that in nice and tight around the edge of my panel. I do want to note here that I did speed this up quite a bit as this process does take a little bit of time. And then off screen, I went ahead and added on foam to the remaining parts on the back of that panel. So for the shaker bits today, you can see here that I am scooping out some mica flakes. These are the Tim Holtz mica flakes. And then I also have just some large chunky gold glitter that I'm going to pour in this shaker card as well. And at this point I decided I wanted just a few more of those mica flakes, so I'm just going to add a few more on the center of my card. So on the right hand side of the screen I have my A2 card that's already folded, and then I'm going ahead and pressing on that frame that we covered with the foam tape here just a few moments ago. So just going to shake that around, see how it looks, and clean up that glitter there that I spilled, and then I'm going to go ahead and add on the other elements to the card. So first up, just using some liquid glue to adhere my stacked dies with that beautiful blended Christmas tree on the top. And then next up, I'm going to add that those gifts to the bottom of the tree as well. And then finally, the last element here to glue on is going to be the sentiment. So for this card today, I went with the fa la 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 sentiment, and I'm just going ahead and adhering that in the middle of the tree. So really at this point, all that's left to do is add some finishing touches to my card. And as you can see here, I'm doing that with a scrapbook.com glitter brush marker. So I know it doesn't look too exciting here, but I do assure you that when you tip this beauty in the light, those sparkles are absolutely beautiful. So once again, just adding that to the ornaments, the ribbons on the packages at the bottom of the tree, and that garland on the tree and the star as well. So that's it. That's the final card project today. I do want to say thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment below if you've also been enjoying shaker cards this holiday season. And as always, I do want to invite you to click on the links on your screen in case you'd like to see more crafty inspiration. And until next time, I hope you are keeping it crafty. Bye!